Let's talk to the voice that called it all last night. Merrill Reese joining us. Merrill, good morning.
Morning. Is it morning already?
Yes, it is. It doesn't. I don't know what time it is. I'm all off. But we got a victory last night, Merrill, which is the most important thing. That was a bizarre opener, especially when you factor in the weather delay there, Merrill.
Everything about it was, and I've had a chance since the game. While you're calling it, you're commenting on what is happening, but to really reflect takes a little bit of time. And the more I think about it, the more I believe that it was ridiculous to throw Jalen Carter out of that game. I mean, if he dives at a quarterback's knees and injures him and does something like that. Now, I'm not saying he wasn't stupid to retaliate or to do something that was disrespectful and crude like that, but I don't think the penalty fit the indiscretion. I think that what they should have done is fine him. They should have penalized the Eagles 15 yards for unsportsmanlike conduct. But to take him out of the game before snap one and change that game dramatically, the effect, I hate when the officials have that kind of an effect on a game where they take the Eagles' best player and meanwhile Dallas, we talked all week about the fact that Dallas was out. They stupidly traded Micah Parsons, and they're going to be without their best player. And then all of a sudden, the Eagles' best player is gone. I'm not saying that entered the officials' minds or that there was anything dishonest. But what I'm saying is I thought it was a ridiculous decision to throw him out of the game.
Well, it did change the game, Merrill. There's no question. I mean, I understood why they did it. It was so obvious. You know, it wasn't like, sometimes there's like the guy's head flies back. Like, wait, was there a spit there? It was so obvious that I feel like they almost had no choice but to throw him out. But it did, Merrill, affect the game.
Joe, they did.
But Merrill, he spit it. He spit on him.
So Merrill, what you're saying is it's okay to spit on players?
No, it's not okay, and it should cost you 15 yards and a fine, not an elimination from the game, unless he was warned and then he did it again. But I think that's way over the top. But it's not as if there was a shot later that was a replay with one of the Cowboys throwing a punch at an Eagles player's head. I mean, that's a little bit different. But I mean, look, it's wrong, and it's a lack of discipline. And I guarantee you, he won't do it again. But to throw him out and change the entire game, I think is over the top. I think it's too much.
Merrill, let's spin forward here. So last year, the team suspended Jalen Carter for the first quarter of the Falcons game with an internal thing. I think maybe it came out that he missed the meeting, something that made them do that. Do you think the Eagles will have any punishment for Jalen Carter moving forward because of what happened last night?
Yeah, I'm sure they will, but we'll never know about it. I mean, whether it's financial or whatever they do, there'll be something involved there, and I'm sure that Nick Sirianni has really exploded and let him know what he thinks. And, of course, you can't do that.
Right.
I'm just saying to dramatically change a game like that for spitting, a little saliva. I mean, look, again, it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. Penalize them. They gave the ball to the Cowboys near midfield, and then they're going to fine Jalen Carter, and maybe the league fines Jalen Carter, but that's enough. Don't change the whole game because he spit. That's just way over the top.
Well, and it changed the game. I mean, the Cowboys went right down the field and scored their first 3 times. All right, Mel, let's talk about the other stuff that happened, because there was a lot in that game. And I think we start with the quarterback. Merrill, last night was one of those nights where you had to watch the game to really feel it. Because Jalen Hurts' numbers last night weren't anything off the charts. I thought he played great last night. I thought he was in control. Only took 1 sack. Accuracy was there. Now it was mostly underneath stuff except the shot to Dotson. But every time they needed a play, especially with his legs, Merrill, to ice the game, the 2 touchdowns, I thought Jalen was really good last night.
That's what great quarterbacks do. And he is a great quarterback. He is growing every year, every game. He is a great quarterback. He is a winner. He's the reason they won that game. He's the reason they are 1-0. The biggest reason, of course, because he didn't have a lot of time to throw, and he was on the run, and he was under duress, but he found ways to win the game, to make the final first down on a quarterback draw. I mean, he's just so good. The Eagles are so fortunate that he's their quarterback.
Well, he was really good last night. And they also got some contributions on the defensive side as that game went on from the rookies. I thought Makuba showed something. Jahad Campbell showed something. Those young kids out there, they got snaps, Merrill, and they made plays.
Yeah, and speaking of the defense, now, Hugh, you may you guys may see this differently, and I think Mike Quick saw the play a little bit more differently from me, but I thought the penalty on Reed Blankenship in the end zone, what was he to do when the pass was thrown in that direction? He was running towards the receiver, and he couldn't pull up at that point, and there was contact, and they called hitting a defenseless receiver. It wasn't if he went helmet to helmet with the head or anything like that. I thought that was a weak call.
The Blankenship one, they had a lot of penalties last night on defense. The Blankenship one was one. It was almost like, man, what is he supposed to do? He's flying full speed. That was a tough one last night on the Eagles. And they just throw those flags down, Merrill, when you're anywhere near the head. But that one, I fell for Reed on that. Merrill Reese with us here as we react to the Eagles' victory last night over the Dallas Cowboys. Merrill, that game, I don't know if they just got cold. That game was so different after the delay. I mean, it was an offensive game the whole game, and then Merrill, they come out of delay and almost no one can move the football.
Yeah, it was like the air went out of the balloon. It was everybody was flat at that point, but fortunately the Eagles had the lead and they maintained the lead, and they're 1-0 at this point. And maybe we should come to expect this. Last year too, the first 4 games. Well, they won in Brazil. Then they lost the next weekend to Atlanta. Then they went and beat a bad New Orleans team, even though the Saints were off to a good start. And then they were absolutely horrible in Tampa Bay. I think this is a product of not playing regulars at all in the preseason. Now, wait a minute. Before we jump to that, I want to say that I agree with that now. I've completely changed my thinking. I know why they do it. They do it because it's a long, hard season, and you want to keep your players fresh, and you don't want them injured in the preseason. Detroit plays their regulars in the preseason, and Detroit was the best team throughout much of last season. So they got to the playoffs, and they had 16 players on injured reserve, and the Eagles, who started slowly, who were 2-2, only lost one more game the rest of the way, and they had 22 healthy starters in the playoffs. So that's the price you pay for guarding against injuries early.
Well, it is, and the good thing is you get a win. They didn't play great. They didn't play their best, I'll say it that way, but they still got a victory, which is the important thing. Merrill, we appreciate you hopping on, and enjoy a weekend watching the NFL, and we got a game tonight as well. The team we're going to see next week, the Chiefs and the Chargers tonight. Merrill, have a great weekend, and we'll catch up soon.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
There he goes, Merrill Reese there, the voice of the Philadelphia Eagles.